Well, hello again and welcome to the VK6CS amateur radio channel. Now I'm holding the camera, so I hope you'll forgive me for the wobbling. Where's it gone? Here we go. That's the one we want first. Right, now with regard using the old FLdx2000 linear amplifier with the Yaesu FT450 drive radio, I thought what I'd do is I'll just have a very quick look at the 450 circuit, the circuit diagram of the PTT line, because you've got to bear in mind that, you know, years ago, back in 1967, when that thing was designed and built, it was designed and built to be used with a valve drive radio, and the valve drive radio would have had a PTT line to a linear amplifier that would have been a relay contact. It just would have been a voltage-free relay contact. Modern radios, not so. So, if we look at it, this transistor here, let's get my pencil out of my pocket. This one here, if you look at that, collector goes up, goes out to here. Now this is the this one is the tuner socket. But if we follow the line, if we follow this line here down, this line here goes from the collector of the transistor, goes out, goes along here, to here, then it goes down, 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 down. I'm going to have to scroll the computer. And then it comes in. Whoa. Comes in. I'm sitting at a funny angle as well, which doesn't help. Comes in here, and then it goes along to the other socket, which is marked linear, and if we follow that line we can see it goes to pin 2. So the collector of that transistor goes to pin 2 of the linear socket on the back of the FT450, and it's actually marked TX ground because when you press the PTT, that point is taken to ground by turning that little transistor hard on. Now, with being an old linear, it might have a hefty relay in there. So what we have to do for the key, so what we have to do is we look at that device. We can see that it's got diode F20 across it, so that we know that we can connect that collector to a relay because there's a diode there to get rid of any back EMF as the relay drops out. But what we do need to know is, will this 2SD2211, this device here, has it got the voltage and current carrying characteristics that will allow us to connect it to the linear amp keying relay without it going up in smoke, without having to put, because you know, if the if it's not a particularly meaty transistor, I might have to put an interfacing relay between it and the linear. So what we'll do is we'll just have a quick look at the specification for that device. And fortunately where's the cursor gone? I've got the bloody camera in front of my face. There we go. If we go here and if we go there. Okay, so if we look at the absolute maximum ratings for the device, it says the maximum voltage 160 volts, and collector current, it can be pulsed at 3 amps, or it will take 1.5 amps continuously by the look of it. So what we have to do, or what I have to do, is take a look at, or turn the linear on, measure the voltage that's coming from the relay that's going to be connected to the collector of the transistor in the FT450, and also key it and measure the keying current. So if the voltage is going to be less than 150 volts, and the keying current is less than 1.5 amps, I'd probably say at the most it would want to be half of that, and the voltage at the most would want to be half of that. So if it's less than half of 150 volts, so if it's less than 75 volts and it's less than 750 milliamps, I reckon that would be quite safe to connect to the relay in the amplifier. Okay, all right, well I think I'll end this one here because this camera doesn't unfortunately have a pause on it. It's a real pain that. This is a Panasonic 770, and don't believe the hype, they're not very good at all. Okay, I'll just jump down off my soapbox. And power dissipation, yeah, a couple of watts. Okay, so what is that? That's power dissipation, 2 watts. Okay, so maybe we'll just check that the power it's going to be dissipating when the voltage and current is measured from the relay, just to be on the safe side. But this camera doesn't have a pause on it, so I can't pause it and then go and fire up the amplifier and do the measuring, so that's going to have to be another video. So that will be the next video, so apologies for that. As always, thanks for watching, hope you found that interesting, and I'll catch you next time.